Hi everyone, welcome to tonight's live. I'm gonna be speaking for the next 10 to 15 minutes or so, and when I'm done speaking, you can ask your questions. So I'll be speaking, I will not stop for questions, I will not be interrupted, and when I'm done speaking, you can ask your questions. The topic we'll be sharing tonight is titled Define Yourself. Define yourself. Define yourself. Define yourself. People want to define you. They want to define who you are, what you're about, what you can do, what you can achieve, what you can attain. They want to define your ability, your capability. They want to define you. It is just in human nature to try to define other people, to look at them, to size them up and define them, and just look at you and say, this person cannot do this or cannot do this or won't be able to do this. People just judge a book by its cover. They look at you and they feel or think that you'll not be able to do certain things or achieve certain things or create or produce certain things. People always try to define you. But you should learn to reject the definition of people. Learn to define yourself. The secret of success, the secret of achievement is for you to define yourself. If you want to attain your dream and your goals, if you want to attain greatness in life, learn to define yourself. People who define you want to control you, want to limit you. People who define you want to restrict and limit you. People who define you want to constrain you and contain you. People who define you want to imprison you, put you in chains and enslave you to their own definition and concept of who and what you are. Don't let anyone define you. Define yourself. Define yourself. You know, the people who try to define you, they look good, they talk good, and you think they're so kind and they mean well, but they don't mean well. They don't mean well. Anyone who tries to define you tells you, Jane, are you sure you can run that business? I think it is better for you to go do something else. That person doesn't love you, doesn't like you. They might pretend as if they like you, but they don't like you. Anyone who tries to define you wants to control you, wants to limit you, wants to restrict you, wants to contain you, wants to imprison you, wants to put you in chains, and ultimately wants to make you their slave. Refuse the definition of people. Define yourself. Define yourself. Define yourself. The people who define you, or the people who try to define you, they question your ability. They question your intelligence. They question your potential. You say you want to go into real estate, and they tell you, why do you think you can run a real estate business? And they begin to question you. That do you remember the last thing you tried, you failed? They begin to question you. The people who try to define you, they question your ability. They question your intelligence. They question your creativity. They question your potential. Don't let them question your ability. Don't let them question your potential. Define yourself. Define yourself. Don't let them question how brilliant you are, how creative you are, how bright you are, how intelligent you are. Don't let them question you. Refuse the definition of other people. Define yourself. Define yourself. When they question your dream, you tell them, I want to go into real estate, and they start questioning your dream. And questioning you and asking you, are you sure? Are you sure you can do it? What they are insinuating is that you're too stupid to go into real estate and make money, that you're too stupid to start your own business, that you're too stupid to be creative, that you're too stupid to run your own enterprise, that you're too stupid to make a major move in life, that you're too stupid to pursue your own dream. That is what they are insinuating, and don't let that ever happen to you. Stop them on their tracks. The moment they start questioning your dream, stop them right there. Say, stop right there. Don't you ever question my dream. Don't you ever question my intelligence. Don't you ever question my dream. Don't define me. I will define myself. Define yourself. Don't let them define you. Don't let them define you. Because the moment they start defining you, they begin to insinuate that you're stupid, that you're too stupid to think, that you're too stupid to be creative, that you're too stupid to have a dream, that you're too stupid to want something better for your life. They are questioning your intelligence the moment they try to define you. Start questioning your intelligence and your intellectual capability and abilities. They don't know who you are. They have no right to define you. Define yourself. Define yourself. Nobody knows your potential. Nobody knows your ability. Therefore, nobody can accurately predict your future. Nobody can accurately predict what you can achieve. Nobody. Nobody knows. They don't know your potential. You're the only one who knows your potential. Therefore, do not allow them define you. Because when they define you, they confine you. When they define you, they destroy your dream. Nobody knows what you're capable of achieving, of creating, of actualizing, of manifesting. Don't let them define you. Define yourself. They don't know your potential. They don't know what you're capable of doing, of achieving, of becoming, of actualizing, of manifesting. A dream is a powerful thing. A dream is a powerful force. When God gives you a dream, it changes everything in your life. When God gives you a dream, it gives you wings to fly out of your environment and your circumstances and your limitations. A dream is a powerful thing. And when you have that dream from God, don't let it go. Don't let anyone, do not allow anyone question your dream, because your dream will give you wings to fly out of every constraining, limiting circumstance, situation, and environment. Your dream. When they start questioning your dream, silence them, because nobody knows the potential of that dream that is within you. Nobody knows the potential. Nobody knows how high that dream will take you, how far that dream will take you. Nobody knows. They don't know. They have no right to question your dream. Don't let them define you. Define yourself. Define yourself. Define yourself. When people define you, They question your audacity to dream big. When they define you, they question your audacity to want a better life than that which you presently experience. When people define you, they question your audacity to dare for more. Your audacity to want to achieve more with your life. Don't let them define you. Define yourself. Define yourself. Only you can define yourself. Look deep into your soul. Look deep into your potential. Look deep into your giftings. Look deep into your abilities and define yourself. God has put a gift inside of you, has given you a dream. Define yourself by your dream. Define yourself by your goals. Define yourself by your objectives. Refuse to allow people around you define you. Refuse to allow people define you, because the people who define you confine you, contain you, imprison you, limit you, and try to make you a slave. Reject and refuse the definition of people. Define yourself. Define yourself. You know, the only reason why people try to define you, they act as if they care about you and they love you. They don't love you. They don't love you. When you share your dream and they try to tell you, hey, are you sure? I think you should get a job at Walmart or get a job at McDonald's. No, don't go for this dream. This is so scary. You know, you could hurt yourself. You could lose everything. Not because they care for you and love you. They just want to control you. They want to control your life. They want to enslave you, because the moment you agree to their definition, you become their slave. So the people who try to define you don't love you. They don't care about you. They don't care about your dream. In fact, many of them are scared of your dream, because a dream is a powerful force within you that will give you wings to rise out of every negative, limiting, toxic environment. A dream is a powerful thing. So what people try to do is define you and get you to limit yourself by giving up on your dream. But don't give up on your dream. Define yourself. Define yourself. Give yourself the permission to be happy. Give yourself the permission to live your dream. Give yourself permission to pursue your goals. Give yourself the permission to desire and to dare for a better life. Give yourself the permission to exit the wrong environment and enter the right environment. Give yourself the permission to live your very best life. Give yourself the permission to enjoy your journey. Define yourself. Define yourself. Define yourself. You must reject the definition of parents, the definition of family, the definition of friends, the definition of teachers, the definition of your pastors, the definition of your imams, the definition of society, and define yourself, because nobody knows your potential and your ability. Reject that definition, the definition of your friends. They don't know you. They don't know you. They don't know you. Reject that definition. Some of you, your teachers have traumatized you, and they defined you as a failure because you failed certain subjects. But they don't know who you are. Those subjects don't define you. English, mathematics, history, geography, they don't define you. You define yourself. You define yourself. Don't let any teacher or lecturer or university or college or school define you. No. Do not allow any company, any boss, any organization define you. Don't allow any religious leader define you. No. Define yourself. Define yourself. Don't allow them define you. They call you a failure because you fail certain subjects. No, you're not a failure. You're not just good at those things. You cannot bring a lion from the savannah into the sea to come and compete with the shark in that environment. No, a lion will drown in the sea. Neither can you take a shark and relocate it to the savannah land to come and fight with a lion. No, it will fail because that is not its environment. You have to place the lion in its environment, in its natural environment to function. Do not allow your teachers define you. Don't allow your lecturers define you. Don't allow your university define you. Define yourself by your dream, by your potential, by your goals. Define yourself. People who define you want to consign you to mediocrity, to insignificance, to penury, and to poverty. People who define you, they want to consign you to insignificance. They want to consign you to insignificance. Do not believe what they say about you. Resist it, reject it. People who define you want to sow doubt into your mind, want to sow lies into your mind. Do they know you? Do they know who you are? They want to judge you by your past, by your failures, by your weaknesses, by your yesterday. No. Nobody has a right to define you by your failures. Nobody has a right to define you by your weaknesses. Nobody has a right to define you by your past. No. People who try to use the past to define your today are trying to confine and control you and consign you to insignificance. No. Forget your past. Forget your failures. Forget your weaknesses. Don't define yourself by your past. No. Define yourself by your dream, by your potential. Don't allow people define you by your religion, by your ethnicity, by your nation, by the color of your skin, by your accent, by your language, by your degree, by your height, by how skinny you are, or by how fat you are, or by how tall you are, or by how short you are. No, define yourself. Don't let them define you by anything external. No, don't allow them define you. Reject the definition of people that tries to limit you and constrain you, contain you, imprison you, shackle you. Reject those definitions. Define yourself. Give yourself the permission to be free. Give yourself the permission to live your dream. Give yourself the permission to actualize your goals. Define yourself. Define yourself. Any definition that weakens you, any definition that makes you feel like a failure, any definition that makes you feel that you can never achieve much with your life is a wrong definition of you. Any definition that makes you feel small, that makes you feel insignificant, should be rejected. Any definition that makes you feel like a failure should be rejected. Any definition that makes you feel like you will die in poverty should be rejected. Any definition that makes you feel like you will die a failure should be rejected. Reject every wrong definition and define yourself according to your dream. Define yourself according to your dream. Define yourself according to your goals. Define yourself. Don't let anybody define you. Don't let them define you. Define yourself. All those people who surround you and you think they love you, that is why they're telling you that you shouldn't do this or do that. No, they don't love you. They don't love you. If they really loved you, they will allow you live your dream. They will allow you pursue your goals. They will not tell you what you can or can't do. Nobody knows your ability, your capability, and your potential. Nobody does. Define yourself. Define yourself. Define yourself. Don't let your environment define you. Some of you are in very, very toxic environments and negative environments, and you're surrounded by poverty. Don't let that environment define you. Define yourself. The moment you define yourself, you begin to rise out of that environment. There is no environment, no wrong environment or negative or bad or toxic environment can stop you or contain you. Nothing can stop the power of your dream. God has given you a dream. Define yourself by your dream. Your dream will give you wings to fly. Hey, your dream will give you wings to fly out of the lowest pit that you find yourself. Your dream will give you wings to fly. Define yourself. Define yourself. Don't allow anyone limit you. Don't allow your haters define you. Don't allow people you don't know on social media define you. They don't know you. Stop arguing with people you don't know. Ignore them. Ignore them. Even if members of a family try to define you, contrary to your dream, reject whatever they say. Believe in your dream. Believe in yourself. Define yourself. Tell yourself, I'm going to rise out of the situation, out of the circumstance, out of this neighborhood. Define yourself. Tell yourself you're going to rise out of the job that you're in. Define yourself. Tell yourself that you're going to be successful, you're going to be rich, you're going to be wealthy. Define yourself. Tell yourself you're going to actualize your goals. You're going to actualize your dream. Define yourself. Even if nobody else believes in you, believe in yourself and define yourself. Call yourself a success. Define yourself. Say, I'm a success. Say, I'm a light. I'm a light shining in the darkness. I am the answer to the questions. I'm the solution to the problems. I'm the oasis in the desert. I am the answer that the world has been searching for. I will change the world. Define yourself. Tell yourself that. Define yourself. Tell yourself, I'm brilliant. I'm intelligent. Tell yourself, I am a force to be reckoned with. Tell yourself, my dream will change the world. Tell yourself, I'm a blessing to my world, to my generation, to my neighborhood, to my city, to my country. I'm a blessing to the world. Define yourself. Don't let anyone define you. Define yourself. Define yourself. God has given you a dream. God has given you a gift. Your dream and your gift will lift you out of any circumstance, any situation, any neighborhood that is negative, any nation. Your dream will give you wings to fly. Don't let people define you. Define yourself. Define yourself. Place no limits on your life. Place no limits on your life. It doesn't matter how much, let me tell you, it doesn't matter how much you have in your account or how much you don't have. Your life is not determined by the amount you have in your pocket right now. No. Don't place any limits on your life. Don't say, I'm from this country, therefore I cannot be successful. Don't let that come out of your mouth ever. Don't say, I'm from this tribe or this ethnicity or from or this or that. Anything that is negative and tries to limit you, never let that come out of your mouth. Don't place any limits on your life. And nobody has the right to place a limit on your life. Place no limit whatsoever on your ability, on your potential. Give yourself the audacity to dream big. Give yourself the audacity to pursue big goals. Give yourself the audacity to define yourself. Define yourself. Define yourself. Nobody can stop you if you don't stop yourself. Define yourself. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay.